the Ned Foss Dragon throwing axes. Let's get into it. Welcome to the channel, guys. I am Wes, and I am from Midgard Axe. How's everybody doing? I know I've been getting a lot of questions about these. Wes, what do you think about them? Give us your real honest opinion. Would you buy them? How did they hold up? Well, let's just get into it, okay? The Ned Foss Dragon throwing axes. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the sheath first, and then we're gonna work our way to the axes. It feels very durable. I don't think guys are gonna have any issues with the sheath. It feels very robust. It feels very strong on the outside. I mean, it's pretty good material out here, okay? On the outside, on the sides, the top, and then on the back, it's got these little rivets in it that hold the sheath together, which is nice. And you also had these snaps on the bottom here to hold your axes in place as well. So that's really nice to have too. And then it is also stitched on the sides and on the top. And the back is also, the belt loop is also stitched on the back too, along with the rivets. If I could say anything about this sheath, I would say that to Ned Foss, that you guys may want to consider checking the stitching a little bit better. And the reason why I say that is because the top is nicely stitched. It's not coming apart. It's not going where. It's nice and tight. This side is nice and tight. It's not going anywhere. The belt loop seems to be nicely stitched. It's not going anywhere. However, when we get on this side, it's popped open. The stitches have broke. So if I could say anything about the sheath, it does feel durable, but I would check that stitching because it seemed to be a little weak on this side. The cool thing about this sheath is that you can put all three axes inside the sheath, which is nice. And each axe has its own hook and loop or hook and pile fastener. For my military people out there, everybody else calls it Velcro. We call it hook and loop or hook and pile. Each axe has its own hook and loop fastener, okay? So when you put these in, you have your own hook, and then they come out like this, okay? And then you take the other one out like this, okay? And then the last one comes out, and then you're ready to go, okay? So it's kind of cool. You have all these here to hold them in place if you wanted to transport them, and they're pretty secure in there. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. And guys, what do we always do with sheaths on this channel? When we're done, we toss them. All right, guys, so getting into the axes themselves, we'll go over some dimensions and some specs and all that good jazz. So the axes are 11.6 inches long. They have a 3-inch bit on them, and they are made out of 3CR13, which is a kind of like a Chinese stainless steel. There's very robust steel. If you guys don't know this, but the 3CR13 steel is the kind of steel you find in most knives, budget-friendly knives and kitchen knives. So it's been around for a little bit, and it's used probably by you every day. You just don't know it. And then the rubber grip that comes on the bottom here is nice, has a nice design on it. It's not too rough on the hands, and it's not too grippy. So when you grip this rubber grip, you can feel it. It's present. It's nice. It's thick, but it's not too thick to where it's too bulky in your hand, okay? And like I said, guys, it's very robust, and the design on it is really nice on the hand. It glides out, and it's just enough to hold on to, but not too sticky to stick to your hand, which is really nice on this axe. The axe is also coming in at 13.38 ounces. So you're coming in at almost a pound, and the weight is nicely distributed. Some of the weight is, of course, is up here at the head, which is what I like. I like axes that have more of the weight up at the head, because you guys know I like heavy axes, because I feel, in my personal opinion, that they make you more accurate, okay? So they're weighted really nice. My kids had a blast throwing them because they were so light. And it worked out really well. I didn't feel like they were a toy, and they didn't feel too heavy at the same time. It was like, for the size of it, it's weighted very nicely. At the bottom down here on the knob, you do have a hole they've drilled out here, which is nice. So if you wanted to wrap some paracord in there to hang it or do whatever you want with that hole, they give you the option there, which is nice to have as well. As far as the bits go, I've had great success with the bits. They've held up. I have had a tiny bit of edge rollover at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I have had a little bit of edge rollover at the bottom down there, but that was really on me. I was throwing these things really hard. So keep in mind that that's an easy fix, guys. But when I was tossing these normally, I didn't have that. It wasn't until I started throwing hard at the target, I did start to get a little edge rollover. The grind on them is very nice. It has a very nice sticking profile on it. And it does have a very narrow edge on it, which, like I said, guys, throwing it normal, if you're not putting a ton of power into it, I don't think you'll have edge rollover. But if you do, you might start having some. But like a whetstone it, and it's gone. You'll be fine with it. Over here, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. You should be able to. I did have the bit break, okay? And I will say that's on me. And I'm glad it happened. And the reason why I'm glad it happened is because I wanted to test this thing in all aspects. And what I did is that in one of my throws, I threw one of the axes at the target. Then I kind of came in like, when I went to go throw it, the axe was sitting like this, and I kind of did a sidearm throw. And when it came in, the bit hit the handle like this, okay? And I'm glad it happened because it showed me the chip in the bit is only as wide as this handle, which means that it didn't go farther out left and it didn't go farther out right. It chipped and stayed where it hit, which is really nice to see. Sometimes you'll have bits that when they crack, they'll crack way up or way farther down than where it actually hits at. And this one stayed where it should have stayed, which is nice. So that shows me that it does have some durability in its bit. And two, where it hit on the handle on the other axe that was in the target, I had hardly no damage at all to the axe. So if you guys are worried about the durability of these axes and the steel quality, I would say don't freak out over it. I think it works out just fine. I think you'll be fine with it. Getting into the rubber grip, okay? Like I said before, guys, it's very nice and robust. You guys can see how thick it is, okay? And it's a hard rubber. It's not a soft rubber. It's a hard rubber, which is nice. I will say this about it. Two things. One, I'll start with the bottom. I wish that they would round this rubber over top of here. I think I know why they didn't do it. And Ned Foss, you can correct me on this. I think the reason why they didn't run this rubber over is because if you have knob strikes, it's going to crack and break the rubber off of there. But here's the reason why I wish that they would do that or do something else I'm about to suggest. The edges on the ends of this, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, are very, very sharp, okay? They're very sharp. Are they going to cut your hand? No. But they do kind of make it unpleasant after a while when you're throwing. See, when I hold this axe in my hand, see how it's digging into the pad of my hand right here? And every time I throw it, it's rubbing right here. And what happens is after a while, it starts to get a little uncomfortable. I let my kids and my wife throw it, and they all said the same thing, that this part down here was kind of biting into their hand down here. So two options I think that they could do to improve it, which would be to run the rubber over the top, okay? Or all they would have to do is just round these edges over. You have two on this side and two on this side. Just round those edges over and make it an oval shape so it's nice and smooth. So that way when it comes out of your hand, it's not rubbing. And you'll get a lot more throws out of it because you won't be annoyed by that angle down there. Also, too, on these rubber handles, even though they're extremely robust, they're nice and strong, guys, they will not take a blade strike to them, okay? As you guys know, when I throw axes, I like to stack my axes really close together into one bullseye, which is why I've started separating my bullseyes when I throw more than one axe, because I broke a lot of handles throwing an axe into another axe. But these things are so skinny and so thin that my confidence level went up. And I was like, man, I can stack these things close, and I did. But every once in a while, I would smack this rubber grip with the bit, and it would hit it. So even that's my fault, okay? And there's not really much that probably Ned Foss could do about that. But I will say this, I did go onto their website and I noticed that I could not find any replacement rubber grips. If I was Ned Foss, I would offer people replacement rubber grips, because I think it's going to happen. It probably happens to a lot of people. And it'd be nice to be able to buy these as a set, like a set of 3, and then you can sell them as that. And people can buy them when they buy the axe, or later on they can come back and just buy the rubber grips. If they do sell them, I couldn't find them on their website, but if they don't, I would recommend that you guys sell these by themselves so people can buy them as replacements. Another thing too, guys, is that I did sharpen one of them with my Japanese whetstone, and it went really fast. It sharpened a lot faster, and it got really sharp. So if you guys are worried about the edge quality and them staying sharp and getting them sharp, it really doesn't take much effort to get these things sharp. Like I said, I used the Japanese whetstone and sharpened one of the edges just to see kind of what it felt like and how fast it would go. It went really quick and it got really sharp. So if you're worried about how long it takes to work these blades to get them sharp, not long at all. So you guys are probably asking me, Wes, what are your overall thoughts? What do you think? I'll be completely honest with you guys, and I'm going to be honest with you all the time. These are really cool. I'll run some video in of me throwing, and I had a blast with them. My wife and kids had a blast with them. My wife liked them so much that after I send these to one of you guys as a free giveaway, we're going to go purchase some, because as you can see, guys, I made a target just for these axes. And what we're going to do is we're going to buy a set, and we're going to use them as a backyard throwing lane out here with these for kids that are able to throw and adults that are able to throw. Now, who are these axes for? I'd say they're for everyone. I think they would be good for beginners to gain confidence. You have the double bit. So if you over rotate your axe, you got the backside to hit the target, which is really nice. You gain confidence in these. They're not too heavy. Anybody can throw them. I know a lot of people have issues throwing axes because they say they're too heavy. These would be great. These would be great for barbecues. If you had, like, say you didn't have a lot of backyard space, okay, and you're afraid that throwing a heavy axe is going to cause issues in your backyard. Get some of these and get you around and just throw these. These would be great. If you miss, they're not going to go tumbling off very far, and they don't have a lot of weight to them to cause a lot of damage. So these would be great for someone who has limited space. Also, what my wife decided she wants to do, which is a really good idea, is that this summer we're going to get some of these and we're going to set up a tic-tac-toe board out of wood. And we're going to buy 2 sets of 3, and then we're going to play tic-tac-toe with them as a barbecue backyard fun game. So my honest opinion about this is that I think everyone would have fun with these. They're just fun. They're fun axes, okay? Guys, I ran drills with them, and I had a blast. It was really fun to throw them. I had a good time. And I'm not just saying that. I really did. I really got, if you guys watch my videos, I got into throwing these things. I mean, I was like, boom, 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 boom. I had a really good time. The only thing that I'll say about them is that they are a little difficult to throw for distance. If my opinion, really one rotation is where it's at. Standing about, 10 feet away, really honing in on accuracy. But they're really more for, like, really close up, fun, gaining accuracy, gaining confidence, and letting anybody throw these things. Anybody can throw them. So, guys, I would say buy them. Buy them. They go for about $55. I think it's $55 or $56 on their website, and you get knives with them. You get 3 of these, and you get 3 throwing knives. I'll throw a video in really quick of me throwing the knives. Guys, I'm not a knife thrower. I can throw them. I'm not the greatest. Knife quality was about the same as these. As far as the steel goes, exact same steel. Had no issues with them at all, breakage or anything. They are sharpened on the sides and the tip, which is kind of cool. So you have a sharp edge on each side and then on the tip. The only thing that I'll say about the throwing knives is that the rubber on the throwing knives isn't as robust as it is on the axes, okay? It's a little bit thinner, and I noticed that I started having chips and breakage on that rubber on the knives just from missing and hitting the wood, which is fine. I mean, it's not, nothing's perfect, nothing's indestructible, but if I was Ned Foss, I'd look into maybe making those rubber grips on the throwing knives a little bit more robust, because they seem to be a little thin. I'd buy them, guys. If you want to have fun in your backyard, invite people over, like, they're all steel, you're not going to break them. Anybody can throw them. I had a great time throwing them, and I think that they would be a really cool investment to have in your backyard to toss around for people coming over, or just to have a really good time. They're fun. They're fun. So that's my final thoughts. you guys have any questions or anything, comment down in the comment section. So we're giving these away and we're giving the knives away, okay? And here's how we're gonna do it. In the comment section, I'm gonna give the set of axes away to one of you, and then I'm gonna give the set of knives away to some of you. So here's how we're gonna do it. You have to be subscribed to me, and you need to go into the comment section. If you want to win the axe, go down in the comment section and write axe. If you want to win the knives, go into the comment section and write knives. Each person can comment one comment per item. So you can comment one comment for the axe and one comment for the knife, and then that's it, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is that after that's over, I'm gonna let it run for 5 days, and then after the 5 days is over, we'll announce a winner in the next long form content video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I hope I gave you some information on these axes. And like I said, if you have any questions, put them in the comment section. But until next time, guys, see you.